Hello boys, my name is Koyoshi. Welcome back to my 100% blind playthrough of, yeah, that's right. This is Donkey Kong Bananza for Nintendo Switch 2, and I'll just try to start this up as quickly as possible so we can kind of get through this quickly. In the last video, we showed how to grind some tokens and chips and other stuff. I'll talk more as this comes on, but yeah, we have a bunch of chips and gold as well. So we're now gonna finally buy up to 1,000 tokens. I mean, 1,000 bananas used. Only problem is, apparently, I found out a little later that this doesn't award a star at all. In fact, we already have all the 5 stars that we can have, which means we're technically already done with 100%. Because part of that also required that you spend everything at every shop and make it sell out, which we did. So yeah. Technically, we've already done 100%, but there is actually one other thing to get. That's because if we actually wish for our secret set up later, we can actually get a secret ending, but I always thought it would be more interesting if we did something else. I don't want this video to be boring, but I also don't want it to have DLC because the setup will be weird. So yeah, what you're seeing now is going to be the final episode. I'll just tell you right now, in the last episode, we took a break from the gameplay a bit because we needed to grind some chips so we could buy up to the maximum count. A little sucky that this doesn't get you any other secret. Except the skills. But it's fine. We'll get all this stuff. Here you go, we still have our music from the thing playing in the background. We'll check that as well, but you actually only need the disc from the main 110 ones. But we'll also get more added automatically as we go nearby to start our area, and I believe Emerald Rush in each area also has its own theme, so I think each Emerald Rush theme will just be slightly different. So, actually you only need just one for 110 to get the best ending. As long as we have those, we'll get. Otherwise, it could be kind of tricky. But yeah, a lot of the last couple of episodes were spent grinding up tokens to buy our bananas. And we're gonna need more of these tokens later, because we're gonna have to buy statues as well, if we want to get that done. I'll mention that a bit more, though, as we get to this area. What's funny is, this isn't really required for anything else, other than if you wanted to have a max skill tree. I feel like if I want my file to go late, though, it makes sense that we should do this. Though it did take quite a while, yeah. Not gonna lie, if we had finished this off much faster, we probably would have already been done with this game. I'm honestly kind of shocked that they dropped this DLC so early. It kind of surprised me a bit. But yeah, I'll just decide, while we're waiting for these bananas to count up and be collected, we can do any of these, by the way. We don't have to change layers anymore since we've already done that. If you were to buy one too many and like run out of them, I believe there's a limit that automatically stops you from purchasing the others, and then you could always just buy one of the extra ones for the later one. The first one you buy on each layer will just count towards the normal, so the other ones will not, though. Of course, I waited a longer time because I wanted to make sure I have every unique banana before doing that. That's all you really needed, though. You don't need any more than that. I will say, having all the skills does feel really cool, and don't worry, we are going to test it. But anyways, the main reason we're actually doing this video is because, yes, there is actually an optional ending setup we need to see. This will confirm if we've gotten 100% or not. It'll look just like a different secret ending we've already gotten, but it'll be more secretive because it is different. Trust me, it is different. But yeah, anyways, to get this one, you need every unique banana, which there's 777 of them. It doesn't count the multi-bananas from the multi-bananas, just they're each counted as one, basically, on the list. So there's actually more, like, almost around as many of those as moons, honestly. I think I even did some extras, and looking at it now, I think I have, like, 50% moons, yeah. Thank goodness the game gives you so much money while you're grinding the chip exchange. If you're wondering what I did, well, it was basically I just spammed that canyon layer battle area I showed you before in a different video. I spammed that one battle challenge over and over again with these equipment I have on right now, and that's how I got both my discs and equipment done very fast, if anybody is new to that. Canyon layer, probably the best place to grind that out. That one battle round just gives you so many of these. It's also really good for gold. Just doing it for a few minutes already got me about half the gold I would have needed for Cranky. But that one in itself would still take a while, so after this you would probably go and do something else. I also found out, if you know what you're doing, I found bunch of battles to be slightly faster than Canyon Rush by a bit, just because it has other enemies that you can defeat that will also give you skill points and stuff, and or well, these tokens, rather. Yeah, the Bananza chips, that is. So they'll give you that too, and then there's this one battle that has like more enemies, almost 3 times the number of enemies that there is. The big difference is it requires at least a minute or so to do. That canyon layer one could be done in 45 seconds, so technically it could be faster in most cases. But if you know what you're doing so I think that can be slightly faster if you get lucky, because you kill more enemies overall, and the other enemies count too, so you'll get stuff done. And remember, everything that drops, even ones that fall behind, those all auto-collect, and there's actually another level before that gives you a bunch of forms. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So, we are about to buy the last banana. At this point, the game should stop me from buying any more, because my skill points are now maxed. So we'll buy our last skill. We are now completely powered up. Our banana count now stands at 1,000. Cannot go any higher. Here's my, in case you're wondering. No more bananas. I'll have to stop. You ate them all. You really walk. There's our message that tells us we've gotten all of that. This is the gear we have on, just for clarification. We're not going to change it, though. I don't think gear's really going to affect anything. The other secret ones are just there for, secret ones are for other stuff. But yeah. First we have to actually get the secret ending now. But to get the secret ending, we actually have to go back to the Bananza root tree again. One last time. Except this time we'll actually get, like, the full secret ending. I don't want this to take forever, so I'm gonna have to skip one of the setups, and you're probably wondering why I'm mentioning that. Well, I feel like the video would drag on not enough and also be very boring if I didn't do it, so I'm gonna do something very different. So if you ever wondered what I was going to do for my final video, well, During one of the previous videos, we found out we could actually attack Rool again. Yeah, he's kind of the final boss of this game, in case anybody doesn't know. I figure since it's a final video and they're now very powered up, I always wanted to do this crazy idea that might work out, and since I have no extra money to use, I figure may as well. I wonder how many boons you can get. Let's actually buy a bunch of 10. Okay, I assume that goes up to 99. Okay, alright, we don't have any room now. But anyways, I was gonna buy up to 5 apple juice, 5 melons for the energy, but it's not like it's gonna matter. Anyways, now we're gonna go back to climactic clip, go all the way to entry of the Heart of Gold, but instead of selecting to go straight to the secret ending, we are actually gonna go to the main ending again. So I figured it'd be fitting to fight the entire battle of King K. Rool all over again. But with our new fully powered up stats instead. Let's see how good we can do against K. Rool this time. I don't want to be an injured either. What I mean by that, I don't want to, like, die and kind of shame myself on this. I don't want Donkey Kong to last here. I know that much. So we'll go ahead and sleep at this random gateway, which I'm not even sure if we've slept at or not. Nope, we have. Okay. I'm doing that just to get some extra health. We probably won't need it because we have like 5 full health refills, which should be more than enough for K. Rool, and 30 fall stuff, so we should easily be able to just tank our way through the fall section this time. When you actually play the game, it can be a bit tricky. You may want to actually get at least a couple of powers if you haven't grinded yet. Like, you have all the money, you may as well get them. The only way you'd save time is by not doing it. But anyways, as you can see, we have a couple of feints to select. Now let's actually select to fight King K. Rool. And if we do this, different voice slime will play out. It'll look just like the intro that we did before, except it's completely different. Interestingly, it doesn't let us replay the first part of the King K. Rool fight. Instead, it goes straight to this. Like, it really just goes straight to this instead. So we don't actually fight King K. Rool the first time right away. Instead, we go straight to the end question mark instead. So we end up facing his final form instead, but that's okay. This is better form. Oh, but... And so we start over here, then. I just realized... I'm not sure if this is skippable. Okay, no, we can skip it. Let's go straight to this. I think we want to have this power-up. All things considered, we probably want this flying power-up. If we fly up enough, we'll probably be able to keep going. We're mostly just adjusting our timing, really. That's all it is, really. That, I will say, the original song from Donkey Kong Country version of this music is definitely one of the better final boss sounds musics I've heard in a while, I will say that much. So we can interrupt him early. Okay, now we have to hit him. Now we have to hit him back. Thankfully, I only have to hit him once at the end to offend that phase. I will say, though, the remix of this fate is really great. Definitely an iconic theme. And very fitting for this part of the final battle. Now we just kind of spawn into New Donk City, and now we have to actually play for a bit. I like how this vanadium mush thing they talk about is only ever used during this one section of the game. We can just ignore these fools and go straight to this, as long as we don't actually touch him. Speaking of which, we kind of just did there. Oh yeah, okay, we have to use this. That's right, we have to use this. You're supposed to use all of your different power-ups here. There we go. We should have used that sooner. We'll probably get a healing part at some point anyway. Or we might get it somewhere else, who knows? We don't know yet. Didn't get anything there. A little annoying. But as long as we keep going fast, we'll be alright, probably. But we can keep flying in the air here. I just realized also, if you get bored of actually dealing with the obstacles, you can use the snake banana trick on this stage as well. For those of you who don't know what the snake banana trick is, that's an easy trick I just realized I could do, which basically involves you using both ostrich and snake together. It starts initially with snake, and then you use ostrich later, and if you use those two together, you can get some really good height and just skip a whole sections of levels entirely and get to the places you should be able to get to. But it's most useful because you can actually skip paying one of the toll booths. You normally, on the very second to last layer, you normally have to pay him a total of 99. Ah! Oh, that's an instant death. I see. Okay, so whatever you do, don't fall down there, or that's an insta reset from that. Okay, well, we can skip this too. Hey, we didn't miss it this time. Maybe just normal walking is better. Just so we don't actually fall down. I didn't even know there was an instant kill mechanic in this. It didn't care about anything. We kind of just aimed down here. Alright. Now we can skip this as well, and now we face True King Rool. I just realized he does Bananium transformations of his own. That's what that is. Of course, the main way we attack him is by weakening him quite a bit. A lot of these are sometimes references to his older versions too, like that, what you just saw there is that him inhaling that explosive item and then him getting hit by it. That's a reference to when you had to defeat, the way you had to defeat him in the second game, I believe. I've actually played enough of those games and watched them enough, the original Donkey Kong Country games, that is. Okay, that did not go right for him, so we have to throw that, like, immediately if we want to guarantee that he gets hit by that. But if we can do it right away, then we're fine. I'm assuming punches probably do the most damage here. I wonder if a charge punch even does more damage. I don't think it does. Missed there, but we got the second one there. I think Tia's part about him is the fact he really does have so much health, and that they probably did it on purpose so that he wouldn't fall down as easily. Almost every boss in comparison to him. Can still sneak in a bit of damage as we go on. Yeah, I think it's just determined on the number of hits. I think the more you interrupt them, the more time opportunities you get to damage him. Otherwise, there's not much you can do, really. Feels like half of the time we're just punching him and he's hardly really moving in his health bar at all. Okay, they're trying to trick us a bit more by throwing that slightly upward to try and throw off our matter in a bit. As long as they're not right next to him, we could still get some damage in, but not take any damage from that secret otherwise. Almost his last phase. And this is the worst pattern of all, because it's actually quite awkward to do. Only way to survive is to create a bunch of explosions ourselves, then quickly inhale stuff. I do like how to deal with it, though. You're practically just... It mostly relies on Elephant and using the gold to then throw that after him. That was, like, hardly any at all. I felt like I got hit by nothing, actually. Okay, well, that worked. Oh, I just realized that's a punch ball. I see what you're supposed to do there. That punch ball is exactly identical to what the Donkey Kong thing did at the start. So what we actually need to do... there is we need to be using our attacks at a specific point. So those can't really be used, so we have to just kind of throw what we can. You can remove some of the spots by doing that. I must have gotten hit on almost nothing. There must have been like one tiny spot I missed. So now we want to be in this form. Because then we can time this. Perfect. Yeah, I knew that was how we were supposed to do that. I see what we're supposed to do now. So by the end of the last part, if you can punch that back, you can get his weakness. And then he actually takes more damage. Yep, we spelled you again, technically, because that was actually our second time taking you out now. But that's kind of crazy that that was his weakness. So that whole time, in the first phase, if we just reflected that back, because it was exactly like that ball we reflected before, just to get to this area, yeah, we could have already had him beat a long time ago, which means the first phase could have technically not lasted as long. But then again, when you're in a blind playthrough, this kind of stuff happens.
I'm going to make my greatest dream
Now, because this is from this area, I do not believe this will be the normal ending.
Will you come with me, DK?
So instead, we'll see this part. There we go.
Oh, right. DK's dream. DK! Sorry. Forget what I said before. You have to make your dreams come true.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll be okay.
This looks quite this cutscene looks quite fitting in the diva outfit, by the way, since this is how Pauline would look in the back in Mario Odyssey. Slightly bigger, obviously, and an adult, but yeah, it's still the same thing. At least now we know where she got that outfit from. We also know that one of her original outfits is what she had when it's in the arcade version of Donkey Kong. Here we go. We don't have time for those credits, so we're just gonna skip that. Oh wait, okay, I see it. I see it doesn't matter what screen you get. It just defaults to this. Alright. So this is the change, as you can see. The original ending had her sitting in front of an audience. The second half, instead, has her sitting in front of all the other characters you saw there. That secret part there, that tells us that we got our secret ending. But obviously I'm not done yet. I wanted to show you that you can get this between any of these secrets, so to make sure that we had so much done.
Thank you for going on this adventure with me. Okay, you ready for this?
So anyways, yeah, now we're going to use this again. And this time it'll give us the secret ending, but you'll notice that it will be basically the same as before. The only difference is now instead of just getting the normal secret ending like we got before whenever we see an ending now, I like how you could choose to just see the ending, or you could fight Rool again and then do it. But yeah, anyways, we delayed, not because we wanted to be weird, because obviously I wanted to see the credits this way, because this is the secret ending part, which is part of how you get 100% in this game. So I think it'd be more fitting to end here rather than in the normal ending. At least you got to briefly see the differences, because in the normal ending credits, DK's flying down back all the way to the underground, but in here he's actually going up, which is more like what they wanted to do originally. And now that we've seen that ending, that confirms that we've actually gotten everything in the base game. In fact, that was actually what this percent was done. I made sure to check, but yes, upon seeing this secret ending, we now know that our playthrough is finally done. We have done it. We have completely 100%ed Donkey Kong Bananza. At least all the non-DLC stuff is now done. Since we're on the secret, I'm gonna partly tell you guys what's gonna happen next. We took a bit more about Emerald Rush, and I'll be happy to tell you that the game this playthrough will still be quite far from over, actually. In fact, we are going to be doing more secret stuff, because there's actually another hidden secret fight, a hidden other secret, and this whole other thing to do, involving mostly Emerald Rush. So while it will involve playing the same thing over and over again, that does mean that we're still going to have videos coming out for this. And why is that so important? Well, basically I wanted to say that for our DLC, we're going to be doing at least one playthrough of every level, but I think what'd be most fitting is for us to grind to that maximum Void Company rank so we can see all the rewards from that. That way we can be done with that, and that would be really cool. I think that would be a fitting goal for the DLC. There is technically another goal you can get, and that's getting every last statue collected. But I found out it's not recommended to grind for that. It's not required for main 100%, and it's also really tedious. At 1950 of those tokens, those vanadium gem chips, you have to get all of that, just over 19k vanadium chips for just that alone. That's how many statues there are, and it gets expensive as you go further along too. It's definitely very intimidating, but it's not like we're gonna waste it. Obviously, we're gonna show off some of them to try and maybe make it easier once we're done buying the stuff. We might just buy it off screen until we get like close to the end, and then I'll probably just do a tour of Donkey Kong Island itself so I can show you where all the statues are once you actually get them, because they're like set up by area and you can see where they are as you go along, which I think is cool. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot other differences. Donkey Kong travels alone in the normal ending and the ending credits. In this one, of course, we still have Pauline with us because Pauline and Donkey Kong are both going up together now, which is very fitting. But yeah, other than that, yeah, just note, we're going to be doing every single level and every single Emerald Rush right now, and depending on if I can remember it, they said there was also going to be special events for Emerald Rush where you can get exclusive items. I think it would be fun if I could get those done in time. Perhaps we could get a statue for that. Hopefully we could just get it all at once And hopefully they'll regularly have special events, because if it's like really limited, then they might become very rare collectibles by the end of the game. Anyways, normally there's just a little bit of a crowd here in this ending, but because we got the best ending, Donkey Kong is here, and all the other characters that we saw throughout the game are here instead. That confirms that we've gotten completely 100% of Donkey Kong Bananza. And now, thanks to our save file, which we're now going to load from here, we are completely done with the game. We have all the bananas we've collected, which means we are pretty much done with the main game, which means our playthrough is over, but because of DLC, we are not going to be done, not even by a long shot. Just to set up for my next video, I will go ahead and load back in, and yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. It's been definitely one of the funner games I've played. Definitely a lot better, I think, than Mario Kart World was. Mario Kart World had some cool tracks, but it got boring and repetitive too quickly. Like, especially at those drive straight lines. Line tracks, ugh, those are the worst. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Grand Prix was fun at first, but some parts of it were just really... It does help a lot. Mine is still apparently struggling a little bit from what I've heard. They've tried their best to fix it. Hopefully it is fixed, but with a couple of other racing games coming out, yeah, it might be hard for them to keep their... But that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're instead gonna say is we're gonna end our episode by saving here. Just so you know, I don't really care if I miss a particular section anymore, because this one's kind of hard to save from here, and I kind of want to create another save file, so from here on out, I'm just going to use the same save file and hope to don't lose the video. Speaking of which, before we do that, we should probably end this episode before we forget. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment, rate, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video where we do some more DK Island and Emerald Rush, or more specifically, just Emerald Rush. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.